Heyo, and what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV tonight. It's Tuesday, July the 3rd, and the fireworks are already underway here in New York City as we here in the United States get ready to celebrate our Independence Day tomorrow. And the fireworks are about to be underway right here on Sledgehammer TV as we get ready to bring the hammer down on SmackDown Live right here and right now. On the newest, fastest rising podcast in all of YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, and Podbean, baby. It's the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Let's do it. Yeah, eyebrow action. Let's go.
Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
All right, wrestling fans, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Nick Nightmare. Along with me, as always, is my trusty tag team, Thor the Sledgehammer, the wrestling god of thunder, and the official sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. My little buddy, my most trusted companion, the world heavyweight champion of all the microphones in all the world, Mr. Blue the Snowball. Thank you guys for checking out the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show's SmackDown Live review for tonight. SmackDown Live came to us from somewhere, and I hope it stays there, never to return. I don't want tonight's SmackDown to ever re-enter my mind. SmackDown Live took the stance tonight as if it was actually the 4th of July and that nobody is home watching TV, and they absolutely phoned in a show that was just boring as shit. It wasn't so much a bad show per se, it just bored the shit out of me. I have absolutely zero interest in the reunification of Team Hell No. This is not why I wanted to see Daniel Bryan come back. If I would have known going into his return that one of the main story points in his comeback run was going to be joining back up with a 50-year-old masked mayor that nobody wants to see wrestling anymore, that moves the way I fucking move when I wake up in the morning to go to work before I had a cup of coffee. You know how you're walking around in your house, you're stumbling around, you're looking for your keys, you can't find your wallet, you're just stumbling around like a big old Frankenstein monster until you have that nice refreshing cup of coffee, then you start to feel that little bit of zing. Why didn't he have a fucking cup of coffee before he went to the ring? He's walking around there like he's half dead. I know he's supposed to be a dead guy, you know, but he's moving almost worse than The Undertaker moved before he had his hips fixed. I don't understand it. There is nothing appealing to it about me. And the way they fed us this forced, scripted bullshit that was so disingenuous, it made me absolutely nauseous. It made me sick to my stomach because you can't catch lightning in a bottle. And you can't expect lightning to strike twice in the same place. It's a well-known adage, and it's said for a reason, because you can't manufacture something that kind of happened by accident almost a half a decade ago when we were exposed to this the first time, and it was seemingly new, and it was different. And like I said about Team Hell No previously, it had some sort of a charm to it. They had this inner turmoil to them, but they still got along as friends. In the interim, since Daniel Bryan was out, we seen him beaten up by Kane in a closet, right? And then they wanted to reference all the bad things that Kane has done to him. All of a sudden, Daniel Bryan's having second thoughts about reuniting this team because, oh, Kane, you almost abducted my wife once, you tried, and they tried to make this funny, and it just wasn't. Kane's delivery was awesome. He's like, oh, well, I tried. Implying that, well, I tried, but I failed, so you can't hold it against me. Why would they bother fucking hugging it out last week and then coming to TV this week with turmoil? They didn't have 2 minutes to talk to each other all fucking week to iron out any kinks? Logic. Daniel Bryan waited for SmackDown Live to go to Kane and be like, bro, you know, I don't really trust you here. And now they're just trying to force this same kind of dynamic that they had between them when they have had little to no interaction with each other over the last few years. Why are they friends now? Why does this matter? Because the WWE has no fucking idea whether or not Daniel Bryan's going to stick around. And in true WWE fashion, they're taking the fuck you stance. Fuck you, Daniel Bryan. You don't want to tell us if you're staying or going? We're going to use you like an asshole. We're going to make it seem like we're using you good because we're going to put you in the main events. We're going to reunite you with a legendary tag team partner. The fans are going to love it and it's going to be fun. You get to have fun. You get to wrestle the way you want to, but you're going to do it on our fucking terms. Because either he's waiting to leave and just accepting what's coming his way, or they're punishing him and we will get what we want from Daniel Bryan after the contract is signed. And even then, do you truly have faith in them? Daniel Bryan himself went on the Gorilla Position podcast and said himself, in his own words, asked the interviewer, do you yourself really have faith in the company to prolong a feud between himself and The Miz going all the way to WrestleMania 35? He himself doubts they could even do it properly. As much as he would love for that to be the case, he has no faith in his own employers to do that, and neither should you. You should have no faith in this company to do anything worthwhile anymore when this is what they got for us with Daniel Bryan. I want to read to you guys a list that I've compiled. I pulled up the official SmackDown Live roster. Okay, we're going to leave out anybody that was on the show tonight. And I'm going to read to you all the names that were not on the show tonight. We had Andrade Cien Almas, not on the show tonight. Cesaro, not on the show tonight. Chris Jericho is listed as an official member of the SmackDown Live roster. He was not on the show tonight, obviously, for obvious reasons. Why he's even still listed on this list is beyond me. He shouldn't have made this list, because he's gone. Let's get ready for his cruise. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. Did you see those guys? I didn't see them. Randy Orton's been MIA, healing up from some injuries. Randy Orton's taking time to heal up from injuries. Jeff Hardy's wrestling, supposedly injured with the United States Championship. They won't give him time to rest. Sheamus, Shelton Benjamin, Ty Dillinger. These are all names that were not on tonight's episode of Raw, but we get to see fucking James Ellsworth booked in a match versus Asuka for the two of them to play fucking Duck Duck Goose around the arena. Get double counted out and accomplish what? Making Asuka look like a fool? Why? I ask you why. Go ahead, the comment section right there. Tell me why they would do something like this. When if you want to go to the women's division, we know Charlotte's off and away for whatever reasons, recovering from surgeries or getting her boobs fixed or whatever the reason is this time. Charlotte hasn't been around for a few weeks, so she wasn't there. We didn't see Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Not that that's a big loss because they suck. But still, no time for them on the show, but we could see James Ellsworth versus Asuka. We didn't see Naomi on tonight's show. Nikki Bella is listed as an active member of the SmackDown Live roster. She obviously was not around. She's probably got Birdie B fucking underwear to sell. And then you got Tamina Snuka, who nobody gives two shits about, but she is on the roster. She's an active competitor, and when was the last time you've seen Tamina Snuka? But we could see James Ellsworth, right? We could see the return of fucking Kane, right? That's okay. Instead of seeing Daniel Bryan being booked in a feud with Samoa Joe, not on the show tonight, you got nothing for Samoa Joe, a guy that was on his way to carving a path to the WWE Heavyweight Championship in a match that would be absolutely fantastic with the phenomenal AJ Styles. And now he hasn't been on TV in 2 weeks. For what? This man laid claim to the WWE Championship. He said it didn't matter who held the belt. At some point, he's coming after it. He hoped it was going to be AJ Styles. When he was done with Nakamura, he was going to have to deal with Joe. And why haven't we seen that? Why haven't we seen that? Because we had to give the Money in the Bank to Braun Strowman so that he could throw Kevin Owens around in fucking shitters? Getting covered in blue fucking sludge for no reason? Ending Monday Night Raw? What's with the end of these shows? Last night's ending was fucking terrible. Tonight's wasn't any better. Sure, you had Team Hell No making fools of the Usos, the greatest tag team the WWE has really had on their roster over the course of the last 10 years. And what do you get for all your hard work? You get to lose to a nostalgia act. You get to lose to a flash-in-the-pan fucking act that's going to be here for 2 seconds, means absolutely nothing to anything that's going on, shouldn't even be happening, but we're going to take you and sacrifice you to get them over. You had them add the stipulation to this main event match, tag team match, that if the Usos win, they're in. They're in the tag team championship match at Extreme Rules. At that point, I'm thinking, that's a great idea. That's the way this match should end. Have the triple threat tag team match at Extreme Rules. Add maybe a TLC stipulation to it. And then this way, if Team Hell No wins, you don't have to sacrifice all the work you've put into building the Bludgeon Brothers. You had them beat the Usos tonight on SmackDown Live. Would it hurt you to have them pin one of the Usos at Extreme Rules? No, it wouldn't hurt anything. You did it already. The Usos are almost beyond that point that they need to win. Does it really hurt the Usos to lose to a legendary tag team? What is with that? What did they do that was so fucking legendary? They won the tag team championships and argued over who was the tag team champion. That was their claim to fame. That's Team Hell No's biggest contribution to the world of professional wrestling. They were a legendary tag team? No. No, absolutely not. This show was unacceptable. 16 unused superstars. 2 hours of television that had more than 50% being the commercials. There were so many commercial breaks tonight. You want to have the United States Championship Open Challenge. We're going to use this as the prime example. This match began at 8:25 p.m. They went to the first picture-in-picture commercial break at 8:26. They came back from that commercial break at 8:30. We got back to the live commentary and we had them blow it up back to full screen, only for them to go back to commercial 4 minutes later. Be gone for another full 4 minutes, and at 8:38 we would resume being able to watch this match to its conclusion. We missed the entire first half of this match if you watched at home. It's not easy to watch that picture-in-picture shit. Sure, you're watching the action, and it's a little bit more acceptable. But at the end of the day, you're in a commercial break. And you know that the performers know that they're in a commercial break. And nothing significant is going to happen during said commercial break. So you don't have to pay attention until they come back to live air. Only for you to finally get into the match. Okay, here we go. It's about 2-3 minutes in. You're like, okay, I'm starting to feel this. It's starting to get good. Right back to commercial. You're watching fucking Burger King commercials that all of a sudden they're serving Budweiser at Burger King, apparently. I don't know what the fuck that's about. We got to see Chris Chrisley's fucking fat face. We got to see commercials for something else to wrestle. A podcast show from Brother Love. Brother Love has a podcast. They replaced the Stone Cold podcast with this. And not that I have anything against it, but why are they promoting it so hard? You got a United States Championship match going on in the ring. You had to come back from a commercial break and go to the spot for Bruce Pritchard's Something Else to Wrestle, because they're going to talk about The Rock this week. Why are we promoting this so hard? He's just a fucking guy like me. He just happened to be in the wrestling business professionally for 30 years. He's one of the biggest managers ever known. So he's a personality. He's a known personality. But do you know what he does? He sits in front of a fucking microphone and a camera and he talks about wrestling. What the fuck do I do? How do I get on the WWE network? You get my point. You got The Miz in the ring with Jeff Hardy going up for the title. This is unnecessary. That commercial could be aired immediately following the match. Especially since I had to sit through 4 minutes of commercial break already. All night long this went on. I felt like we went, as soon as we got into the match, they wrestled for about 60 seconds. They go to the obligatory outside spot. And they go to commercial, excuse me. It's fucking it's unbelievable and ridiculous. Unridiculous is not a word, but maybe that applies somehow. I don't know. Just like I don't know what the fuck was going on with SmackDown Live tonight. It's the 4th of July. We gotta have a food fight of some sort. So you schedule a pancake eating contest for the New Day. Thankfully, Sanity came out and brought their own level of insanity to this and put a fucking squash to this whole thing. That did make me happy. But the fact that this is the way you have Sanity booked means you don't really know what you're doing. You have to have the New Day with the pancakes. It's just like a necessity. We just have to do this every single week. Why can't they start taking shit seriously? Sanity is a serious opponent. Maybe that's the route they're going to go. Maybe this is the first step in that. I don't know. It wasn't that bad thanks to Sanity. But all the time they wasted in the introduction and all the mic time they gave to fucking Byron Suxton to introduce this thing and be part of this fucking debacle was unnecessary. Sanity should have hit and attacked as soon as the New Day entered to begin this thing. They shouldn't even set up the table with the pancakes in it. That's what should have happened. Too much time wasted in this segment for me to truly say, oh, you know what, that was great. It wasn't great, because by the time Sanity came out, I was like, thank God. And not because it was Sanity, but because this segment was finally fucking going to be over. Hammer down. Jeff Hardy in his match with The Miz tonight looked very uncomfortable. Like I said, he's reportedly working with an injury. And at this junction, he's been throwing out open challenges, and I feel like he keeps doing this so that the WWE can take the belt off of him so that he can go fix whatever's fucking ailing him. And you would think that somebody like The Miz would be a prime person to give it to. He's a former United States champion. He could do something more with the belt than Jeff Hardy's doing with it right now. Sure, he's defending it successfully, but it doesn't really mean much on him because he's way above it. The Miz will make the United States Championship seem as big or on the same level as the WWE Heavyweight Championship. But all in all, when he announced the open challenge, I didn't want to see The Miz at all. I wanted to see Andrade Cien Almas come out and accept this challenge, and maybe he will eventually be the one to come out and do that. And maybe I'm just not being patient as they're building towards this. But watching the match tonight, I can't help but think that Jeff Hardy was just a step off. He wrestled almost as bad as Kane. He definitely didn't have that oomph. You know what I mean? He didn't have that extra zip in his step. He seemed to just kind of be there. Which is kind of the same metaphor for tonight's SmackDown Live. It was just kind of there. You know, you watched it, and it was over, and you're just kind of indifferent, aren't you? You don't feel like it was so bad, but it definitely wasn't good, and you definitely don't care, because all in all, you missed nothing. Absolutely nothing. 5 matches. 5 matches on the night, none of which really mattered at all. The biggest moment of the night for me was Paige making a big mistake when she announced the main event for the evening. The Smack Team Tag Team Championships. I don't know what else to say about this show tonight, you guys. It really was that bad. Ellsworth with his fucking stupid men are better promos. They just feel so grating. And I just don't understand the WWE creative's frame of mind. And it's things like this that make me fucking nuts. Because on Monday Night Raw, we got Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss walking around. One week it's one of them, one week it's another. But essentially, every week somebody's bullying somebody. But we got the be a bully, be a star. And then we got this women's revolution, right? We're doing all this women's rights stuff. And then you're going to have this fucking ass bag on TV coming out there playing some fucking guy from the 1960s. Men don't exist like that anymore. That's a fucking insult to us. We don't do that. And if you are a man who feels in any way the way James Ellsworth came across tonight, then you, sir, are a fucking douchebag, and I hope that you leave this channel right now. I don't need sexist fucking morons on this channel. And the way that they're painting James Ellsworth as a sexist moron, I'd rather see him dressed up as a fucking dog and say nothing. At least then, it wouldn't be a direct fucking insult to me. Because I'm a man. And it looks like that's how women in the WWE view the men in the world. That's what we think. We're bigger, we're tougher than you, we're stronger than you, we'll take advantage of you, and we'll be smug assholes even though we're really little fucking worm food. In James Ellsworth's case. He's a fucking worm. Walking around talking big shit, and this is the best you got. For the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion of all time, with the longest win streak in women's wrestling history. Come on now. Absolutely unacceptable. Why they have these characters that actively and openly are going against whatever agendas they're trying to push, I don't get. I don't get. Fucking awful. This show was. From start to finish. It really was. Boring as shit. Did I give a shit about AJ Styles versus Aiden English? Why would you give a shit about that? Why? I'd rather see nothing at all. I'd rather see promos from the champion and the challenger talking shit to each other. That would be a better use of their time. Did you not know AJ Styles was going to win that match? Did you not know after he won the match, Rusev was going to attack him? This is Wrestling 101, people. Absolutely fucking predictable and boring championship feud going on in the shadow of the reunion of a fucking tag team. You got the United States Championship Open Challenge featuring two of the top names in the business. You got AJ Styles and Rusev to be built, and you deem Team Hell No to be your number one priority. We had that all fucking night long. They had to reference Dr. Shelby, right? They were anger management, excellent standout fucking patients, graduated with honors. Who gives a shit? Did you give a shit about anything you saw tonight? The most consistent thing on SmackDown Live has been Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch taking advantage of the fact that Charlotte is not around. Every single week she's being booked in a match. She has a good match. She wins her matches against whoever they're putting her in there with. And she's building up a nice amount of momentum. And what is it going to lead to? Is Carmella going to beat Asuka again? And then we're going to have Becky Lynch unseat Carmella as the champion of SmackDown Live for the women? Or is Asuka going to win and then we are going to have an awkward babyface Asuka versus babyface Becky? I don't know. Either way, I'm not really interested in that. I would much rather them keep the momentum going with Becky Lynch until Charlotte comes back. Get Charlotte to take the belt off of Asuka or Carmella, whoever the hell you want to have hold it until SummerSlam. Step right in front of Becky as she's building all this momentum. Get that title shot and win. Take it right from under her. And then you begin the Sasha Bayley thing the right way. Becky Lynch could be jealous, could become envious, could become angry. And then you could make Charlotte step into that heel role, which she's much better at than being babyface Charlotte. She's like the Bobby Roode of the women's division. The Iconics tonight, actually not that bad because I guess they work in small doses. You gave them to me in about a 60-second cell phone interview where what they said wasn't so bad. And then Peyton Royce, which we've always said on this show is the better of the two, came out and gave us a great match with Becky Lynch. Could have been much better. I mean, it was a little spotty and a little sloppy. But I'm going to take points away very, very little for that. Because Becky Lynch has been great. And and Peyton Royce is way better than Billie Kay. She's better than Mandy Rose. She's better than Sonya Deville. So, points given for that. I said taken away. I think I meant to say given. Whatever. That doesn't matter. Just like SmackDown doesn't matter tonight. Leading into fucking Extreme Rules, I could care less about this pay-per-view. There is nothing of interest to me going on outside of maybe Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler on the red brand. On the blue brand, what do we got going on? AJ Styles versus Rusev. You think Rusev's going to win? I don't. Team Hell No versus the Bludgeon Brothers. The potential disaster of Bryan and Kane ruining the Bludgeon Brothers by winning that championship that night. Why Daniel Bryan is being put in the tag team division, I don't know. Why he was given an old partner that nobody really gives a shit about, I don't know. And I really don't know what else to say. I don't have a fucking script like they do. You know that script that they keep using over and over? Obviously, they went back into the files. They dug deep into their WordPress files or they dug into Microsoft Word, went all the way back to 2006 and pulled up an old raw script from then and said, take this piece and we'll open it up with this because fans won't remember. And if they do, it'll just seem like what's old is new again. And Daniel Bryan and Kane, despite having hugged it out and agreeing to be a tag team to fight the Bludgeon Brothers again, are going to start fighting to generate a yes chant and to do the yes-no thing. It's almost like, it feels like what the WWE is doing at Rusev Day. They're giving you what you want in the worst way. And then, who cares about all that, really? I certainly don't. Everything about that feud is fucking backwards. The only thing that could have saved this is if slowly Kane kept coming out to save Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan was trepidatious about it. He kept everything in arm's reach. He kept telling Kane, listen, I appreciate your help, but leave me alone. This ain't Team Hell No. We're not doing that again. And then you continue week after week. Daniel Bryan being at a disadvantage, getting beaten up by the Bludgeon Brothers, getting beaten up by the Usos, getting taken out by Sanity. And every single week, Kane's there to bail him out. And Daniel Bryan's like, no! Until finally, then you generate that moment. You don't do it the week after you got this thing started, when it's absolutely cold as shit, and you got Kane in there trying to do this, but his arms don't do it because he's 50 fucking years old. And he looks like an idiot. I'm done. I am done with this episode. There's nothing more I could say because they didn't give us much more than that. Did I miss anything of importance? You want me to talk about Shinsuke Nakamura's overly scripted promo? Saying some shit he obviously wouldn't say. So stupid. So fucking stupid this show was. And I've had enough. I've had enough of the WWE main roster for this week. Both shows, to me, 2 fucking thumbs down, and I am not at all looking forward to next week. Because if history tells us anything, we're only going to see the same exact thing again. We got 2 weeks until this fucking ridiculous pay-per-view, and I'm not looking forward to it. Just like they killed my joy yesterday, they've killed my joy today. hopefully I brought some joy back to you guys, because I know you guys love to watch me bring the hammer down. You love to watch me get mad. You like to hear me rant and rave. I don't want to do that all the time. So maybe I should start doing other wrestling stuff. Maybe I should start talking about wrestling that makes us happy. Maybe we'll gain some more subscribers if I come off on a happy tone. I don't know, I happen to think I'm more entertaining when I'm angry. But that's just me. That's why we're the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. We're not the fucking unicorn and rainbow pancake show like the fucking New Day. We're not here to talk about how great everything is. We're here to bring the fucking hammer down. That's what we do. Just like we did tonight. Just like you can do right now with your own little sledgehammers at home. Take them, raise them up high, and bash them down on that mouse button or on your screen or wherever you're watching. Hit that thumbs up. Make sure everybody knows that you enjoyed today's broadcast and that you are A-OK with this show. I need to know that you liked it, so let me know that you did by making that thumbs up super bright blue by bashing it down right now. Then share this video with each and every one of your wrestling friends all over this great big wrestling world so that they can come on aboard and join the Sledgehammer Club just like you should if you are not already a member. All it takes is to hit that subscribe button, then bang that notification bell so that every single time an awesome wrestling video just like this one drops, you will be notified and you will not miss a thing that is going on right here on Sledgehammer TV, the premier professional wrestling channel on YouTube. Today we got top 5 lists. We got the Dean Ambrose special that we put up. I talked about how I would bring Dean Ambrose back to this shitty blue brand and how that might actually save the blue brand if they went with the idea that I had. You want to know what it is? Go check out that video. It will be linked in the annotations in the upper right hand corner of your screen so that you can get to it very easily. Just like you could get to our Monday Night Raw review last night where I took this hammer and beat it down on that 3-hour pile of steaming hot garbage that they wanted to call Monday Night Raw. If you missed that, check that out. Our tributes to Vader are up. As always, we got the Vince McMahon cock-blocking Ring of Honor out of Madison Square Garden episode. We got that. Oh, how could I forget? We have the best and most awesome unboxing show on the planet. And if any of you guys have not had the pleasure of watching the subscription box showdown right here on Sledgehammer TV, only on YouTube.com, for those of you listening on our audio platforms, that show will only be seen on this channel. You cannot hear it because that would be stupid. That would be absolutely stupid to do an unboxing show in audio form. You can't see anything that I'm pulling out of the box. How dumb do you think I think you are? I wouldn't do that to you. You have to get to YouTube.com and watch the absolute best unboxing show on the planet. Nobody does an unboxing better than Nick Nightmare. And if you haven't checked one out, this is the one to see as we debut the subscription box showdown World Heavyweight Championship belt. Who takes it home this month? Is it that wrestling club or is it WrestleCrate? You're going to have to tune in and find out, and I expect you to do so. When you check out all these other videos as well, don't forget, and if you didn't do so on this one right now, like, share, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you all so very, very much. The nice big influx of subscribers we had this weekend. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the club. Feel free to voice your opinions in the comment section down below. I welcome all debate to the show. Thank you all for being a part of this. Without you, there is no me. I am Nick Nightmare. This is Blue the Snowball Microphone, the World Heavyweight Champion of Microphones, Thor, the Wrestling God of Thunder, and the official Sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. That is going to do it, you guys, and we are out of here, and we will see you next time right here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Dig it!